everyone, welcome to LangLitEdu. And today we are dealing with the great American writer Toni Morrison's debut novel, The Bluest Eye, published in the year 1970. And before moving on to the details, please do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get my new updates. And in this video, we are going to deal in details the most important questions asked for various exams and what is the significance of the title, The Bluest Eye, also the symbols used by the writer in this novel. Toni Morrison, an American novelist whose original name is Charlie Anthony Wofford, who had written great novels, and her first novel, which I told you earlier, The Bluest Eye, published in the year 1970. And her other novels are Sula, published in 1973, The Song of Solomon, 1977, Tar Baby, 1981, and she got Pulitzer Prize for her novel Beloved, published in the year 1987. And she was awarded Nobel Prize in the year 1993. Through her novels, Toni Morrison questions the harsh consequences of racism. Physical as well as psychological suffering is caused to the blacks due to white racism. The Bluest Eye is the story of a young black girl, Pecola, who believes that she is ugly, and she always longs to have blue eyes, which she thinks as a symbol of beauty. The novel is divided into 4 chapters, each with the title of one of the seasons. And the background story of Pecola, her father Collie Breedlove and her mother Pauline is told through multiple narrative voices. The first person narrator is Claudia, and even within Claudia's first person narrative, the voice is divided into different perspectives of Claudia as a child and an adolescent Claudia. And a third person omniscient narrative can be seen in Collie Breedlove's and Sob Her Church episodes. What is the significance of the place Lorraine, Ohio in this novel? It is the birthplace of Toni Morrison, and the setting of the novel, The Bluest Eye, is in the fictionalized Lorraine, Ohio in the 1940s after the Great Depression. The Bluest Eye opens with a prologue of the Dick and Jane story, and the characters are created by Zerna Sharp, and the story is repeated 3 times in the novel. How does the second part of the prologue to the novel, The Bluest Eye, begin? Quiet as it's kept, there were no marigolds in the fall of 1941, and the narrator is Claudia McTeer, but her name is not mentioned in the second part of the prologue, and she is 9 years old. We had dropped our seeds in our own little plot of black dirt, just as Pecola's father had dropped seeds in his own plot of black dirt. What does it mean by the narrator in this passage? Because the young black girl Pecola is pregnant with her father's baby. In the prologue, who and what does the narrator identify as having died? Pecola's baby, her father Collie Breedlove, and their innocence. The prologue to the novel and the final chapter are set in past tense. What is the name of the first chapter? It is Autumn, and the tense shift from present to the past, and the 9-year-old Claudia and adult Claudia are acting as narrators. Pecola comes to live with the McTeers family because Pecola's father tried to burn down their house. What phrase does the novelist use to refer to the homeless Pecola? She is outdoors. Which actress does Claudia hate and Pecola and Freda like? Shirley Temple, and she is an American actress, dancer, singer, and a business woman, and her picture is depicted on a cup, and Pecola likes to drink in that cup. Who is Collie Breedlove? He is Pecola's father, and who was abandoned by his mother when he was only 4 years of age, and his guardian was on Jimmy, and he is dangerously free as mentioned in the novel. What is the name of the girl with whom Collie had his first sexual encounter on the day of Aunt Jimmy's funeral? Darlene, and two white men interrupted his sex, and that directed his hatred towards not the white but towards Darlene. Who is Pauline? Pauline is Pecola's mother, and she too obsesses with the desire for beauty, and she is having deformed foot, and she finds satisfaction in working in the Fisher's family. Sammy Breedlove is Pecola's brother, and who is a victim of his parents' failed married life, and he runs away from home at least 27 times. The boys from the school teased Pecola as Black Mo, who calls Pecola a nasty little black bitch. Geraldine, an arrogant black woman and the mother of Boy Jr., and the only thing Geraldine feels true affection is a cat and a kitten. Who are the prostitutes living near Pecola's house? China, Poland, and Miss Mary. Claudia and Freda call Miss Mary as Maginot Line, and she has great passion for food. Who is emptier in Collie Breedlove's story? A local healing woman. Who is self-declared as reader, advisor, and interpreter of dreams? It is Sobhurt Church, and his original name is Eliu Mika Wycombe. Who is self-declared as reader, advisor, and interpreter of dreams? Sobhurt Church, and his original name is Eliu Mika Wycombe. Who approached Sobhurt Church to get blue eyes? Pecola. And who gave the secretly poisoned meat to Pecola to kill the old dog Bob of Bertha Reese? Sobhurt Church, and he told Pecola that if the dog responded to that meat, she would surely get blue eyes. Which chapter narrates Pecola's pregnancy by her own father? Chapter 10, Summer. How many times does Pecola is raped by her father? 2 times. Claudia and Freda planned dash for Pecola and her unborn child. Marigold. What happens to Pecola? She becomes insane, thinking that she has an imaginary friend. In the last chapter, Pecola worries that her eyes aren't blue enough. What are the final words of Claudia? It's much, much, much too late. Which are the episodes narrated by the omniscient third person? The episodes of Breedlove and Sobhurt Church. Which candy does Pecola like and why? Mary Jane's, because she has blue eyes. Let's see what is the significance of the title The Bluest Eye. Here we can see the protagonist's ardent desire to have blue eyes. And here Pecola is obsessed with the desire of having blue eyes. And she believes that if she has blue eyes, she will be blessed with many privileges experienced by the white girls, and also she will get the love, care, and warmth from her mother Pauline, because Pauline loves white standards and white beauty. And why she loves Shirley Temple, it's only because she has blue eyes. In the novel, Toni Morrison has used many symbols, and the most important one is marigold. Marigold symbolized the natural order of life and birth. Pecola became pregnant from her own father and thus lost the natural order of giving life. Claudia and Freda believe that if the flowers bloom, Pecola's baby will live. Unfortunately, the flowers never bloomed, and it foreshadowed the death of Pecola's baby. Blooming of flower represent happiness. And Pecola here, she was killed emotionally by her own father, family, and all the members of the society. And in the novel, the absence of the blooming of marigold suggests the absence of happiness from the life of Pecola. The flowers represent the black population who are denied the opportunity to live freely. And here the lack of the growth of the flower marigold symbolize racial oppression. Popular film stars of 1940s are mentioned throughout the novel can be considered as another major symbol of the novel. Shirley Temple, Greta Garbo, Ginger Rogers were considered as the standard ideal beauty by the white community, which eventually led the tragedy of Pecola. Another important symbol in this novel is Dick and Jane episode. The Dick and Jane series were popularly used in United States and in other English-speaking countries to teach children to read. And according to the critics, the life presented in the series is entirely different from the actual life of many children lived in 1940s. And here we can see the life of Jane and Pecola is entirely different. And this shows the meaninglessness of white experience for black children. It brings only utter chaos and meaninglessness to the black children. Here Morrison has given symbolic significance to each season, and the novel begins with autumn. For children like Claudia, Pecola and Freda, autumn is the beginning of their school days. And the next section is winter, which brings barrenness to Pecola, where she is insulted by Maureen Peel and terrorized by Geraldine and her son Junior. And Pecola realized that her life is barren without beauty. And third section is spring. Here we can see an irony. Spring is the symbol of rebirth, but in the life of Pecola, she is abused by her mother and raped by her father. And the last section is summer, where summer actually brings pleasant experience for everyone. But in the case of Pecola, or in the life of Pecola, we can see an isolated and insane Pecola. Morrison had written this novel at the time of the emergence of the slogan, "Black is beautiful." But in this novel, Pecola reflects the truth of every black Americans who cannot easily escape from the clutches of worshipping whiteness as the symbol of beauty. It's because of their long-term psychic effect of white racism.